Nationalism is not just about waving the flag. It is about carrying the spirit of nation in our hearts and actions. So very good morning to everyone present here. Honorable MD Sir, respected Principal Ma'am, Vice Principal Ma'am, Director Secondary and Middle, esteemed teachers, beloved parents and my dear friends, I read
And I, Tanishka from class 10W, feel proud and excited to welcome you all to our annual function 2025.
our theme this year is Nationalism in India, a word we all know but a feeling that runs much deeper than we often realize.
From the fiery courage of Bhagat Singh to the peaceful determination of Mahatma Gandhi, our freedom was not a gift, it was earned through immense patience, sacrifice and courage. The true essence of nationalism is living and giving for the country we love.
As today we present before you through drama, music and dance, our purpose is not just to entertain, we want to honor that spirit of nationalism, to keep alive the courage and unity that shaped our history and to remind ourselves that even today being united and being a good citizen is a powerful form of nationalism.
So on the behalf of our class, we warmly welcome you all with on hearts. Let us celebrate not just an annual function, but the idea that India truly lives within all of us.
Jai Hind.
Every noble beginning deserves a blessing. Prayer is the bridge between us and Almighty, guiding our steps towards truth and light. So let us begin with Sir Rabindranath Tagore, timeless prayer, a vision of fearlessness and enlightenment.
So I request you all to kindly stand up, join your hands, close your eyes and get ready for the prayer.
Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high,
Where knowledge is free,
where the world has not been broken up into fragments,
by narrow domestic walls,
where words come out from the depth of truth,
where the mind is led forward by thee,
into ever-widening thoughts and actions,
into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake.
Thank you.
Great thoughts inspire great actions. Nationalism is not just a word, it's an emotion that awakens responsibility. So I welcome Rudra of my class to share with us the thought of the day.
The thought of the day is, true nationalism is serving the nation with pride and responsibility. I repeat my thought, true nationalism is serving the nation with pride and responsibility. Thank you.
It is immense pleasure to welcome you all for today's group discussion. A group discussion is not just about speaking, it's about sharing, learning and from each other's ideas. So today's topic for the discussion is nationalism in India.
They may kill the dreamers, but they cannot kill the dream. This powerful thought reminds us how the spirit of Indian nationalism is not just built on strategy, but also on hope, unity and sacrifice. As today we sit in this moment of freedom, it is important to revisit the time when it was just a dream, a time when India rose against the colonial rule, driven by the strength of nationalism. Now, all of us will be engaging in a brief but meaningful discussion on nationalism in India, its origin, its movement, and its impacts. So, let's start. Sudha, would you like to share how the idea of nationalism first took root in India?
Yes, of course. The idea of nationalism in India began taking shape in 19th century when India started realizing the injustice of British rule and economic exploitation faced by the country. Educated Indian, inspired by the Western idea of democracies, justice began to question British rule and economic exploitation. Newspaper, public debate and petition become tool to raise awareness. The formation of Indian National Congress in 1885 was a key milestone that gave Indians a platform to raise their voice collectively and work towards their self-governance, making the beginning of an nationalist movement in India.
Ankita, can you explain Gandhiji's Satyagraha and early protests like Kheda and Ahmedabad?
Yes, definitely. Gandhiji's idea of Satyagraha brought a new direction to the Indian nationalism. It was not about violence but about truth and non-violence. Starting from the Champaran Satyagraha in 1917, followed by the Kheda Satyagraha in 1918 and Ahmedabad Textile Strike in 1918 to 1919, he mobilized masses across classes. These movements addressed the issue faced by the farmers and workers such as crop failure, famine and unfair wages, and gave the common man confidence that they too could fight for the nation's freedom through organized peaceful protest.
Tanmay, could you describe Rowlatt Act and its consequences?
Sure, the Rowlatt Act of 1919 allowed the British government to arrest any Indian without trial and suppress nationalist activities. It gave authorities wide power to detain political leaders and activists indefinitely by passing the normal judicial process. This act was a blatant attempt to curb India's growing demand for freedom and sparked widespread anger across the country.
Suhas, can you tell us how the Jallianwala Bagh tragedy strengthened nationalism?
Yes, certainly the Jallianwala Bagh massacre happened on 13 April 1919. Thousands of unarmed men, women and children had gathered there to protect peacefully against the Rowlatt Act and show solidarity to the victims of the oppressive British policies. General Dyer ordered his troops to open fire on the people and killing thousands and injuring many more. This tragedy shocked the nation and exposed the brutality of the British rule. People who had been neutral and then become emotionally involved in the freedom struggle. It led to widespread anger. Gandhi started planning more movements. People get to know that freedom was the only solution to such atrocities.
Saksham and Sahib, can you please explain the non-cooperation movement?
Yes, of course. The idea of peaceful protest became the national weapon during the non-cooperation movement of 1920s to 1922. People gave up British jobs, school, clothes and even titles. Students, workers and farmers actively participated in rallies and boycott foreign trade and Swadeshi movement. This movement showed that nationalism was no longer limited to elite leaders. It had reached to ordinary people who now felt responsible for the country's freedom.
The non-cooperation movement, along with the Khilafat movement from 1919 to 1924, was to protect the Ottoman Caliph, which united people across different regions, castes, and religions. Leaders like Maulana Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali joined forces with Gandhi. Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs stood together in peaceful protests, boycotts, and hartals. Farmers refused to pay taxes, students left government school, and women also joined the rallies. It wasn't just a political fight, it became a symbol of Indian identity and dignity, showing that peaceful protest could mobilize the masses.
Sanchi, can you please explain what happened after the non-cooperation movement was suspended?
Yes, after the movement was called off, mainly due to the violent Chori Chora incident in 1922, where protesters killed 22 policemen, many felt disappointed and confused about the next step. This pause, however, gave rise to the revolutionary activism among young Indians. Revolutionaries like Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, and others emerged believing that radical actions and personal sacrifices were necessary to challenge British rule. Nationalism now had multiple paths. Peaceful protest led by Gandhiji and revolutionary activism, but one clear goal, complete independence for India.
Shivam, can you explain Swaraj and how it inspired the plantation workers?
Yes, of course. Swaraj or self-rule, first proposed by Bal Gangadhar Tilak in 1906, became the dream of every Indian. It was a symbol of justice, equality and pride to demand fair treatment and local governance. It gave people a vision for better and fairer India, where every voice mattered. Swaraj meant more than just independence from the British. It was a promise of self-respect, empowerment and active participation in shaping the nation's future.
Rehmat Bagla, can you tell us about Salt March and its significance in civil disobedience movement?
Absolutely. The Salt March in 1930 was iconic as Gandhiji picked up a simple thing, salt, to unite the whole country together. Walking 240 miles from Sabarmati to Dandi, he inspired thousands to join. This movement became a reason for mass participation, especially for women and rural communities, as it directly affected the common people. Breaking the salt law became a national act of defiance and a symbol of collective resistance against the unjust colonial taxation. This showed the world the power of civil disobedience movement.
Sarthak Agarwal, can you explain the civil disobedience?
Yes, definitely. Civil disobedience was a method of non-violent protest where Indian liberated disobeyed unjust British law. People refused to pay taxes, boycotted foreign goods, and broke oppressive law like the Fort Law. This movement allowed ordinary people, women, peasants, students to actively participate in the freedom struggle without being resorting to the violence. This demonstrated courage, unity, and the power of peaceful resistance to challenge colonial rule.
Pranjal, can you explain how did the participants experience and contribute to the movement?
Certainly, for peasants it was about land rights and resisting unfair taxes. For industrial workers it was about demanding fair wages and better working conditions. For Dalits it was about demanding equal rights and an end to discrimination. Although each group had its own demands, they all united under the idea of a free India. Leaders like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar also raised certain Dalit issues at this time. This diversity made our nationalism rich and layered as people from every corner and class of the country felt a sense of participation and pride in the freedom struggle.
Ruhi, can you please explain how did the civil disobedience movement expand?
Yes, of course. The civil disobedience movement 1930 to 34 brought farmers, students, industrial workers, and women into the movement. People refused to pay taxes and broke colonial laws openly. It was launched after the failure of the Round Table Conference 1930 to 32, which showed that the British would not negotiate fairly. The movement spread across villages and towns, uniting people under a common goal, and helped create awareness about self-reliance and dignity among every Indian, showing that the war for freedom is for all layers of the society.
Arushi, can you explain cultural role in spreading nationalism?
Yes, definitely. Cultural symbols like Bharat Mata by Rabindranath Tagore in 1905, Vande Mataram written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in Anamat in 1882, and the national flag first hoisted in 1906 helped people to unite Indians emotionally.
Subair, can you tell us how did nationalism eventually led to the Quit India movement?
Certainly, the British ignored the Indian demands during the World War II, and the failure of negotiations convinced the Indians that peaceful talks were not enough. So, in 1942, Gandhi gave the call do or die. The Quit India movement was powerful and spontaneous. Though it was suppressed brutally, it shook the British and showed them that their time was ending.
Before we conclude, Sam, can you sum up the overall impact of the nationalism in India?
Yes, definitely. Nationalism gave a divided country one goal, freedom. It turned ordinary people into heroes and made sacrifice a way of life. It inspired courage, resilience, and unity among diverse communities. Without this spirit, independence would have remained a dream. It's the foundation of our democracy and identity today, reminding us the struggle of our forefathers continues to guide and inspire us to build strong nation.
Thank you everyone. Your points reminded us how Indian nationalism was a collective force, spiritual, cultural, political and emotional. It united millions into the fight for one goal, freedom. Let us always remember and honor that unity and work for a better nation in that same spirit. Thank you.
They may crush the body, but they can never crush the soul of a nation. Today, through this play, we relive the story of our freedom, not written in ink, but in courage, sacrifice, and the resolve of millions. Let us now welcome some students of our class to present the skit and witness how Bharat Mata's children, armed with truth and non-violence, challenge the mightiest empire of the world.
For centuries, India has fed the world with wheat, rice and spices. But now, the very earth of Bharat cried under oppression. Taxes on food, salt and clothes has drained the life out of her people. And in her heart, she felt the agony for every farmer beaten, every child starved and every woman humiliated.
My children, my river flows, my soil waits, my temple whispers, yet my son and daughter suffer. They tax even the salt that nourishes their body. Will no one rise to break this injustice? Who will answer my call?
Mother, we toil from dawn to dusk, yet the empire takes more than we earn. Our hunger is constant, but our heart longs for freedom. Tell us, how can we serve you? How can we answer your pain?
My children, let your courage be greater than your fear. Let truth be your shield and patience be your sword. Walk unbound, speak unafraid, for your actions will awaken the world.
But mother, they will beat us, take our homes, throw us in jails. Can our small voices truly shake the empire?
Yes, my children, the voice of millions can't be silenced. Even a single step of defiance carries the weights of centuries of suffering. When truth guides your step, fear turns to courage and change turns to dust.
And thus, the first whispers of the civil disobedience movement began to stir, carrying hope to every home, every village, and every beating heart. The non-cooperation movement was the first essence of the civil disobedience.
Scene 2. Gandhiji appears, a man of frail body but unyielding spirit arrived. Not with swords, not with armies, but with truth as his weapon and no violence as his shield. Mahatma Gandhi came to answer Bharat Mata's call. He began with the poorest, the peasants and workers.
Mother, I have come to serve you. In Champaran, I stood with the indigo farmers and truth gave them justice. In Kheda, peasants could not pay heavy taxes and together we refused until relief was granted. In Ahmedabad, mill workers demanded fair wages and through non-violence they won. They may beat me, imprison me or humiliate me, yet your children will rise through courage and truth.
Bapu, I see your strength, yet my children bleed in the streets. Their hands empty, their hopes taxed. Will patience and truth stop the lathis and whips of the mighty?
Yes, mother, one man may be silenced, but millions united in truth are invincible. We will march for soul, the simplest right denied to your people. From Sabarmati to Dandi, every step will be a message of defiance, every act a lesson in courage.
Bapu, I will bring the youth of India to your side. Science, learning and sacrifice will be our strength.
I will unite farmers and villagers so that their silent strength becomes a voice of freedom.
I may walk on a different path, but my dream is the same. Complete independence for Bharat Mata.
Unity shall be our shield. Hindus and Muslims will together guard the soul of India.
Thus, the leaders came together and joined hands. The non-cooperation movement swept across India. Schools were boycotted, foreign cloth was burnt, and khadi became the cloth of pride. The civil disobedience movement followed, breaking unjust laws and spreading fire in every heart. India was no longer silent.
Scene 3. The March to Dandi. The empire taxed the very salt of life, and so Gandhiji walked 240 miles to the sea, and with thousands by his side as people followed, their hearts burning with the desire for justice.
Step by step, we walk, not for gold, not for power, but for Mother India, for every Indian denied their right.
Our feet ache, bodies tired, yet our heart burns brighter. Each step carries the dream of our ancestors, the prayers of our mothers, and tears of our children.
My children, your march is my hope. With every drop of sweat, you wash away the chains of oppression. With every step, my soul rises.
Remember, we do not fight with violence, but with truth. Every hand that joins us, every voice that chants, strengthen the march. The empire may threaten, but it cannot destroy the spirit of millions united in justice.
Bapu, we will follow you to the sea to claim our birthright. Simple soul, free for every Indian, free for every heart that longs for justice.
And after days of marching, they finally reached the sea. Gandhiji lifted the salt with reverence as a symbol of defiance and a spark that ignited the nation.
Scene 4. The clash of conscience. The empire was enraged, but the people stood firm. Peaceful, unarmed and guided by truth. They faced the might of the British with courage no weapon could conquer.
Stop, this is illegal. The salt belongs to the crown. You all will be punished. I will arrest you all and throw you in the prison.
No, salt belongs to sea, to Bharat Mata, to her children. We take it freely because it is our right.
Your laws may bind our hands, but never our heart. You may strike us, but our courage is stronger than your lathi.
My children, hold firm. Do not answer hatred with hatred, cruelty with cruelty. Stand as one, unwavering in strength, and the world will witness your strength.
They may break our bonds, but they cannot break our spirit. The jail doors
may close around our bodies, but our heart will march on. History will remember the courage of those who choose truth over fear.
And the prisons will the people bled, yet the soul of India remained unbroken, growing stronger with every act of peaceful defiance. Each act of courage became a spark, lighting villages across the nation with hope and determination. And then, in 1942, Gandhi gave the call of quit India.
Do or die, either the British leave India or we shall lay down our lives, but never live in chain again.
Do or die, quit India. And the whole nation rose as one. Jails were flooded, leaders were arrested, but the cry for freedom shook the empire to its roots.
Scene 5. The awakening of a nation. The courage of thousands had lit the fire of freedom across the nation. From villages to cities and from rivers to mountains, India woke up to its own power, its own voice, and its own dignity.
My children, you have worked for me, bled for me, and suffered for me. Your courage has broken the chains of the oppression. My heart rises with pride and my soul soars for freedom.
We fought not for ourselves, mother, but for you, for every Indian denied their rights.
From villages to cities, from mountains to rivers, the cry of freedom echoes. Every hand that spun khadi, every foot that marched, has lit up the fire of freedom in every heart.
We promise to guard this freedom, to learn, to grow, to build schools, feed the hungry, and protect the weak. Your sacrifices will not be forgotten, mother.
My children, let your unity, knowledge, and courage be my eternal shield. Carry the flame of sacrifice and let it burn bright in every heart of India.
Scene 6. The Oath of Freedom. And finally, after years of sacrifice, came the dawn of 15th August 1947. India was free. An interim government was formed, leaders took oath, and Bharat Mata breathed in freedom. But freedom came with pain, the partition of the land and birth of a new nation. Even through sorrow, India arose, determined to build her future.
At the stroke of midnight, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. We shall build the nation of justice, equality, and dignity.
I will unite all the states into one Bharat, strong and proud.
We will protect harmony where every region has a home.
My children, today I am free. Guard this freedom with unity, nourish it with sacrifice, and let India shine forever.
And so, a handful of salt became the symbol of a nation's courage. Civil disobedience, non-cooperation, quit India. Every struggle lit the torch of freedom. At last, in 1947, Bharat Mata was free. May every generation remember that truth and unity are the pillars of our nation. Thank you.
India, a land where every heartbeat echoes with love for the nation, our freedom, our unity, and our pride remind us of the countless sacrifices that built this country. To celebrate this spirit of patriotism, we now present a beautiful Hindi poem that honors our motherland and the heroes who proud her. Please welcome Reet and Sanjana for the Hindi poem.
सुप्रभात, हमारी कविता का शीर्षक है प्रकाश बने हम।
ना हमको ताज चाहिए ना सिंहासन का मान, हमको तो है बस चाहिए कर्मों का सम्मान।
जहाँ हर जन अपने श्रम से इतिहास बनाए, भारत उस दिन सच्चे अर्थों में नवजागरण पाए।
ना ऊंच नीच का माप रहे, ना भेद का कोई नाम रहे, हर दिल में प्रेम का दीप जले, हर मन में विश्वास रहे।
जहाँ सेवा सबसे पहले हो और स्वार्थ का अंत हो, वही सच्चे भारत का निर्माण, वही जीवन संत हो।
शब्द नहीं सच्चाई बोले, कर्म बने पहचान, जो चलता है सत्य के संग वही है महान।
झूठ फरेब की बेड़ी तोड़ो, उठो खुले आसमान में, जहाँ हर मन स्वतंत्र खिले इस प्यारे हिंदुस्तान में।
स्त्री ही शक्ति, नारी सम्मान, ये सूत्र सदा रहे, जिस देश की बेटी मुस्काए वह देश कभी ना डहे।
बालक सपनों से ऊंचा सोचे, ज्ञान बने हथियार, शिक्षा से खिले जीवन, उजले हो व्यापार।
मानवता की राह चले, सब अपनेपन से मिल जाएं, कोई अकेला ना रह जाए, सब खुशियों से खिल जाएं।
जहाँ मदद को हाथ बढ़े वहाँ भगवान दिख जाए। जो बांटे प्यार और सम्मान वही सच्चा इंसान कहलाए।
संघर्ष से डरना कैसा जब लक्ष्य सामने खड़ा हो, हर गिरावट से सीख लेकर फिर ऊंचा खड़ा हुआ हो।
मेहनत ही सबसे बड़ा धन, यही अमर संदेश। जिसने कर्म चुना सच्चाई का वही करे विशेष।
अब वक्त है जब भारत बोले मैं कर्मों का उपासक हूँ, ना रुकने वाला ना झुकने वाला, मैं वही प्रयासक हूँ।
सपनों की राह कठिन सही पर पथ मेरा सच्चा है। हर गिरने के बाद जो उठ खड़ा वही भारत का बच्चा है।
चलो बढ़ाएं कदम नए, बदले ये संसार। मन में हो विश्वास प्रबल और दिल में हो प्यार। हर जन मिलकर काम करे यही हमारा मान। कर्म प्रेम और एकता से गूंजे भारत का गान, गूंजे भारत का गान। जय हिंद।
The spirit of India is alive in every heart that dreams of freedom, justice and unity. It is the courage of our heroes, the determination of our people and the hopes that binds together. To celebrate this enduring spirit, Rahmat and Pranjal will now perform the poem The Spirit of India.
In villages small and cities wide, the spirit of India cannot hide. From every mountain and river bend, her call for freedom will never end.
The people rose with hearts aflame to challenge injustice to make their name. With salt in hand they walked the shore and showed the world they would endure.
Through Rolex laws and darkened days, they found courage in countless ways. Jallianwala cried, yet hope remained. A nation's will cannot be chained.
Children and elders, women and men joined hands together to break oppression's pen. Satyagraha, non-violent and true, showed the world what resolve can do.
Gandhi's voice, calm yet strong, guided million hearts along. Rani Lakshmi Bai, in battle's light, fought with courage, fierce and pride.
The Quit India call ran far and near, stirring hearts with hope not fear. Every march, every song and prayer built a nation strong and fair.
Today we rise on their brave track, honoring the past and never looking back. Justice, freedom, service and pride carry the dream of India wide.
O land of courage, free and true, we pledge our hearts and our deeds to you. Let every citizen heed the call and stand together one and all.
And stand together one and all. Thank you. Where words fail, music speaks. Music has no language, yet it touches every heart. So now, I would like to call our next performer, Sayona, for a soulful Hindi song performance.
मेरे
Music is the language of soul, and English songs have a special way of touching hearts with their rhythm and lyrics. So let's welcome our next performers for an English song.
Look who we are the dreamers, we make it happen, cause we believe it. Look who we are dreamers, we make it happen, cause we can see it. Here's to the ones that keep the passion, respect, oh yeah. Here's to the ones that can imagine, respect, oh yeah. Gather round, now look at me. Respect the love, the only way. If you wanna come with me. The door's open now every day. This 1+2 and the who all invited. This what we do, how we do. Look who we are the dreamers. We make it happen, cause we believe it. Look who we are the dreamers. We make it happen, cause we can see it. Here's to the ones that keep the passion, respect, oh yeah. Here's to the ones that can imagine, respect, oh yeah. Look who we are the dreamers, we make it happen, cause we believe it. Look who we are the dreamers, we make it happen, cause we can see it. Taste to the ones that keep the passion, respect, oh yeah. Taste to the ones that can imagine, respect, oh yeah. Thank you.
Words make stories, but instruments create magic. Without a single lyric, instrumental music has the power to speak directly to the soul. So now, let's enjoy an instrumental performance by Rianchi.
of the soul, and classical dance is where tradition meets expression. So now let's immerse ourselves in the beauty of art and tradition as we present before you a mesmerizing classical dance performance.
Dance is not just an art, it's an expression of joy, energy, and togetherness. When many dancers come together on stage, the magic multiplies. So let's see group dance performance of our class.
हम साथ चले तो जीतेंगे, हाथ में हाथ चले तो जीतेंगे। हम साथ चले तो जीतेंगे, हाथ में हाथ चले तो जीतेंगे। जीतेंगे सारे गाने सारे वादे जीतेंगे, जीतेंगे दिल के ये मजबूत इरादे जीतेंगे। जीतेंगे हर मंजर को हर मुश्किल को जीतेंगे, जीतेंगे सबकी नजरें सबके दिल को जीतेंगे। साथ चले तो जीतेंगे, हाथ में हाथ चले तो जीतेंगे। हम साथ चले तो जीतेंगे, हाथ में हाथ चले तो जीतेंगे। दावा है जीतेंगे, वादा है जीतेंगे। और मैं अगर हम हो जाए तो ही बस हम जीतेंगे, वरना जीते भी तो अंदर अंदर बस गम जीतेंगे। तो हाथ छोड़ना मत, जज्बात तोड़ना मत, हम